Hi, and welcome to Becoming a Professional Artist Part 5. Today I'm going to be talking about artistic income, how much you could expect to earn as a pro. Hi, my name is Luis Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist on the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 20 years now. My experience, my income, that sort of thing is going to be different than the income of other artists. I could only talk based on my experience and what I have gone through and my expenses. Yes, this is going to get personal once again and very candid and trick. It's a tricky subject to talk about, but I'll try to be as honest as I am as honest as possible on the video on the audio. These are the questions I'm going to be answering this video. What were your sources of income after first breaking into professional art, crowdfunding, sponsor, customers, etc.? Were you able to provide for yourself and for from your income initially? And now that you're full time, are you making subjectively a comfortable living? So those are the answers I'm gonna questions I'm going to answer in this video. The video that you will be seeing this time around is going to be me inking a panel for my comic. You'll see my inking process, my digital inking process. I'm using Manga Studio or Clip Paint. They're the same. It's the same program. I love it. It's great for inking, and you're going to see me ink. Without any further ado, here's the audio. All right, so what were your sources of income after first breaking into professional art, crowdfunding, sponsor, customers, consumers, jobs, etc.? Well, it was definitely the studio. The studio was providing me the income. That's basically it. And it was nice. Every week, I would get my paycheck, and I was ready to go. Let's see, what's the next one? Were you able to provide for yourself from your income initially? Okay, I was living with my parents, so initially, no, I wouldn't have been able to. I was being paid so little that I wouldn't have been able to make a living anyway. It was nice for a kid out of high school to be getting a paycheck, but what it did was it helped me just get uh, you know, uh, get into the groove, get into the rhythm of getting paid. It allowed me to open a bank account and a checking account and put money away. So I basically put money away for the first year or so that I was working as a professional. The income was just not enough. I think I was getting paid $600 a week, which is nothing. And that was when I was, just got hired off of being an intern. I was in training, kind of a thing. It wasn't anything. And I think it went up from there to when I finally got hired. My gross pay, I was getting $900. I think it was like nothing. There was not a lot. I was not getting paid a lot. I was getting paid more than I was worth for sure, but it wasn't all that much. So I wouldn't have been able to make a living off of what I was getting paid right off the bat for sure. This isn't the case. That isn't the case had I been much more of a professional. Let me see. Now that you're full time, are you making subjectively and comfortable living? Yes, I am. I mean, I provide for my family. I have 6 kids and a wife. So, yes, I am providing for my family quite well. I ended up moving out of my parents years and years later. I was actually, I was taking advantage while I was living with my parents to save enough money to buy equipment that I needed to make my life a little bit better. But what I did with that money, by the way, and this is really, really important. Okay, so once I began officially working on the show, This is where the education part comes in. That's when I started my education. That's when where all my money went. So because I was living with my parents, I took complete advantage and spent all my money on education. So there were schools that popped up around the area that I worked, around Hollywood. I mean, in Van Nuys and North Hollywood and things like that. There was a lot of studios that started popping up, and my friend and mentor Paul Wee told me about them, and he told me there was like a lot of art academies. And extensions of these academies, by the way, still exist. Students from these academies have opened their own academies, while those other academies they went to are now long gone. But those studios, what they did was they hired professionals from the industry to teach on certain things like figure drawing, etc. So I used to take all my money that I was earning from work, and I would basically spend it all going to figure drawing classes, going to concept art classes, going to character design classes, going to animation classes, going to storyboard classes, going to any kind of class I could possibly get and pay for. I went to the union. I took classes. I took Maya classes. I took Photoshop classes at the local colleges that I could, even though I didn't need the credits, I just took those classes. I took classes on everything that I could get classes on that I knew would make me a better artist. And that's my education. That was my school. I didn't go to a school. I went to many, many schools. I've had at least 10 different figure drawing teachers. I've taken, and to this day at work, I still go to figure drawing. There's a workshop at work. Every Tuesday, I stay late and I do the workshop. So I took classes everywhere. I have a ton of different teachers that taught me everything, and I did that for maybe 4 or 5 years. That's basically like my college, while working. So the money that I was earning at work was going straight to my education. I just put it right back so that I could, and I invested it in my own skills and in myself so that I could become a better artist. So that's, to me, that was my education. So if you were asking, I went about it all wrong. You go to school to learn, to become, to get hired. I was already hired. I went to school to become a better artist. I went to school to become a better me, not to simply have a paycheck. So, and then after that, I started educating myself in other things, philosophy. I started reading. I started theology, like all kinds of stuff. So I've been educating myself ever since. I never stop. Now I'm spending my money on business and marketing things. So just constantly using it, investing in myself constantly. But yeah, that was a tangent, but it's an important one that really kind of closes the loop in the questions, because you kept on asking me what was my education before I got hired. What you didn't ask me is where did I learn to become a better artist, and that is a different thing altogether, because I didn't become a better artist before I got hired. I became a better artist after I got hired, and my teacher and mentor, Paul Wee, who is and is still better than me and was better than me at the time, he also took those classes. He also went to those classes. He also went to figure drawing, and then eventually became one of the teachers. So that's the That's the thing. That's what you've got to do. You've got to become so good you can teach it. You got to invest in yourself. It's not enough to just take advantage of the classes that you've got to just be a better you, and that's what's going to get you hired. But what ended up happening was that once I started taking all those classes, my stuff improved at work, and then I became much more valuable to everybody. And even in the studio, they were giving discounts to different places, so schools around town, so that the artists can learn different programs and different things like that, so that they can become better at and more valuable employees. All right, so that's my post art income questions. If you found this video valuable, I would like to encourage you to return value for value by becoming one of my patrons over on Patreon. Not only will you encourage me to continue making informative videos that are useful to you, but you get extra perks too. For only a small investment of $1 a month, you can get all new videos I create months before anyone else gets to see it. Also, if you have any questions you'd like me to answer as a patron, you get priority and I answer your questions first. On top of that, when you're a patron at any level, you become part of a raffle where I send original art via mail to the winner of that month. The higher your tier, the better your opportunity to win. Higher tier patrons also get access to any art I do in high-res JPEGs, and also full access to PSD files to any work I do, including the PSD files of these videos. Currently, there's a huge backlog of downloadable files you can get, so right away you're going to get quite a lot of bang for your buck. And the more patrons I get, the better these videos will get. The more content I can produce. In other words, the more you benefit. Please consider becoming a patron. Thanks. The link to my Patreon is on the screen and in the description of this video. I hope the video has been helpful to you, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.